Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief. We're going to try to keep this one brief today, Larson. What's in the news?
So yesterday, Mickie James, who was released by WWE in their latest round of roster cuts just last week, posted to Twitter an image of apparently her stuff being sent to her by the WWE. In a garbage bag.
Oh, God, the disrespect.
A little piece of green tape with her name on it, along with the following caption. This is what Mickie added to the picture. Quote, "Dear Vince McMahon, I'm not sure if you're aware, I did receive my WWE care package today. Thank you." And then rightly, WWE was on the receiving end of a lot of shit due to this. You don't send people their stuff in garbage bags.
Yeah.
And the company then acted for WWE pretty swiftly. Within hours of Mickey's tweet, Triple H tweeted, quote, "Upon learning of the disrespectful treatment some of our recently released talent received on behalf of the company, we took immediate action. The person responsible for this inconsiderate action has been fired and is no longer with WWE." Stephanie McMahon, in response to Mickey's tweet, said, quote, "I'm embarrassed you or anyone else would be treated this way. I apologize personally and on behalf of WWE. The person responsible is no longer with our company." WWE's general manager of talent, John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace, he chimed in as well, tweeting, quote, "Upon learning of the disrespectful treatment of some of our recent released talent, we took immediate action. The person responsible for this inconsiderate action has been fired."
They've been fired. Shortly after these tweets, which, by the way, were shockingly swift for WWE.
Yes.
I was actually really surprised that they even said anything. But shortly after those tweets, we got some more info. Wrestling Inc. and Fightful reported that longtime talent relations executive Mark Carrano had been let go by WWE, with Fightful adding that, quote, "Several names within WWE have reached out to identify Mark Carrano as being the point of blame in the trash bag incidents, trash bag gate, to released talent. All of those who made contact with Fightful on the record say that they've also heard that he's been let go from the company, and noted that John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace, who recently assumed many of Carrano's duties when he came back to the WWE last month, told some of the recently released talent that, quote, Carrano was responsible for the trash bag mishaps and that, quote, it had been taken care of, end quote, without explicitly stating Carrano had been fired at the time. We're told that it is very possible that Carrano being, quote, out of WWE means he could go without an official firing, but without having real duties." In response to Mickie James's tweet, several other former WWE superstars, including Maria Kanellis, Gail Kim, and Jillian Hall, indicated the practice of sending the belongings of released superstars in garbage bags is nothing new, as both Kanellis and Hall indicated that it had happened to them, while Kim noted that Twitter that, quote, "It's been happening since before I was there." So, yeah, I mean, I honestly think that it's a matter of WWE talent relations being completely and totally tone deaf and oblivious to how sensitive the release of a wrestler can be. I'm sure that back in the day, when in like the 80s, when people would bring duffel bags with guns and drugs, having you've been released, can't use you anymore, pal, and they're just given a garbage bag because that's what they had around. And maybe that was fine back then. That wouldn't shock me at all, because it's just like, it wouldn't shock me, you know? Nobody, I kind of think that people wouldn't really, like, there's a certain element of people would be like, all right, hitting the road now, you know, the old school guys with their garbage bag. Like, who cares? It wouldn't shock me.
No, I understand your point.
But you can't continue the practice into the modern. I mean, that's the thing about the WWE, is that they don't adjust for the times unless like they're called out on it in public and humiliated.
And in that case, then they're slow And instead of getting with the times, they're maybe like 10 years behind, you know?
I mean, even the wellness policy itself didn't really kick into gear until Benoit.
It's all very reactionary.
It is.
It's all very reactionary.
They don't regularly internally audit their practices and say, hey, we need to keep up with the times. And I mean, sometimes it's stuff that's as seemingly innocuous as sending somebody their belongings. Maybe you should internally audit how you do these things. Maybe sending stuff in a garbage bag, even though there might be some practical aspect of making sure stuff doesn't get wet in a cardboard box, although I don't know.
There's other ways to do that than a garbage bag.
I agree. I totally agree. But like, and I don't know. I mean, look, also on the flip side of what I'm saying, though, is that Vince McMahon from the top down runs his company in a really weird way that does sometimes send messages to people. He does things to send messages to people. So, hey, you've been released. Here's your stuff in a garbage bag. I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon to say, just put it in a garbage bag. Ha ha ha. You know?
Yeah, attempt to, as you said, send a message. No, totally. It's not an idea that is beyond something that could be done by Vince or WWE. Totally. Which is why, rightly, Mickie called Vince out on it on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's one of those things where, a lot of other people, I mean, seemingly nobody else really, if this were to happen to you, you get your stuff in a garbage bag. You're like, oh, that's typical. And then you sort of move on with your day. Well, Mickie James is old school. She's been around for a while. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, she probably has that kind of pride where it's like, no, somebody needs to talk about this. Mm-hmm. Somebody needs to make a note of this. Mm-hmm. And that's why she did it. So kudos to her for doing that. There is also a lot. I do highly suggest you subscribe to Fightful Select. Yes. There is a lot more info, a lot more background on the Carano release.
And then backstage reaction to his release as well. That's definitely worth interesting. So yes, go subscribe to Fightful Select and all that.
The idea that I won't get into it here because you should, and it's more of a side note than anything. But the idea that he's probably basically a scapegoat in this situation for a practice that goes further up the chain. I mean, probably goes all the way up the chain, but there are people higher than him. That has been in charge of talent relations before when this was a thing, and obviously people have talked about that on Twitter as well. So check that out. There's a lot more to the story.
Definitely. Before we get to our Impact pay-per-view predictions, let's recap Impact Wrestling last night. We can do this pretty quickly. Kick off the show. The Good Brothers defeated the Decay. Dropped a promo afterwards. Something along the lines of. Thanks, Finn Juice, for, hey, refocusing us or something like that.
We were power ranking a lot of food stuff last night.
We were, and I was like kind of half heared stuff. Also, Tenille Dashwood.
There was also a promo from Finn Juice up on the Tron.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Yes, there was later on. Yeah, Shira defeated Jake something. Rich Swann had a promo that was interrupted by Kenny Omega and Don Callis, hyping up their main event at Rebellion. And then Moose returned and pretty much told Rich Swann, don't lose those titles or else.
Yeah. Poor Rich Swann. He's in a bad spot right now.
He is in a tough spot.
Also, Jordan Grace defeated Kiera Hogan by DQ. And then after she was jumped by Tasha Steelz, Rachel Ellering showed up to make the save. She's going to be her partner there at Rebellion. And then in the main event, Eric Young said, Ed Edwards, turn yourself in, son.
To a loser via roll-up.
To a loser.
After distraction from confused cowboy Joe Doring.
Loser.
So anyways, let's get to these Rebellion predictions. I got the Enforcers picks in front of me. I did.
Good.
Where are they? There they are. I got the Enforcers picks here. I got my picks. So, brief review of confidence points.
Everything is must win for me with the IWGP title on the way. I want to be Ultimo.
So there's 8 matches. Match you're most confident in, give 8 points. Match you're least confident in, 1. So on down the line. So every match has a unique point value attached to it. You get that pick right, you get those points. Whoever has most points at the end, they get the belt.
And we will be doing a live watch along on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Stephen Larson this coming Sunday.
Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm guessing. Anyways, let's kick things off. Trey Miguel versus Sami Callihan. I believe this is the last man standing match.
Oh, that's fun. Sami Callihan's a great opponent for Trey Miguel in this situation. Sami Callihan's usually booked pretty strong. That being said, Trey Miguel just recently re-signed with the company. I've got 7 confidence points on Trey Miguel.
Wow. I'm going with Trey as well. I got 4.
Only 4? Wow. That's interesting.
Just because maybe, if they want to prolong this feud, they could do something where Sami picks up the win only for Trey to get the victory at the very end.
They're starting it would be very Impact to start things off with the last man standing match.
I know. Enforcer has got Callihan.
What? Oh, immediately with the manic pick.
5 confidence points.
Oh, hold on. That's right. I forgot the Trios title's on the line.
Trios title as well.
The Trios title really is the most impressive title because it's defended at every event.
It is. Every show. And it's a 3-way dance every time.
I know. It's amazing.
Your odds drastically go down when you
Your
try
odds drastic go down. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Next, Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. Enforcer is going with Brian Myers. 4 confidence points.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm going with Cardona.
This is a tough one.
I don't know what his contract situation is like.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I only got 2 confidence points. My logic behind this is when they did the pick your poison thing.
Yeah.
Brian Myers won his match. Matt Cardona lost his match.
Dude, I don't like that we're on the same page here. I got Cardona with 3 confidence points because, like what you just said, but again, dude, if Myers is sticking around Impact, which I think it's much more likely to be the case, and Cardona's leaving, they might give this to Myers to boost him up the card.
Entirely possible.
But yeah, you got to figure they would have given Cardona like more of a upper hand if that was the case.
I know. The Enforcer has 4 on Brian Myers. Next, 8-man tag team match. Chris Sabin, Ed Edwards, Willie Mack, James Storm taking on Violent by Design. Steve, who you got?
Dude, I don't have a lot of confidence points in this. I've only got 2. I mean, everything in this is one of the cases where I think go home math just doesn't apply. I think
interesting.
I got Violent by Design with 2 confidence points because they are the strongest booked faction in Impact right now, and you got this loose collection of faces. Willie Mack can easily eat a pin, but at the same time, like Eric Young just won that match. Violent by Design has the upper hand every single time along the way. It's just nobody really looks bad when you lose. Violent by Design looks really bad if they lose to this loose collection of faces. So I'm gonna give it to Violent by Design with 2 Maybe they pick up another legend to add to their stable.
Oh, maybe. Well, the one thing that's kind of swaying my mind is Eric Young's injury. I know I'm not entirely sure when he blew out his knee. I don't know if he intends on wrestling through it. But at ACL, that's a significant injury. At a certain point, you'd think he would have to take his leave and heal up. And if he's going to get surgery on that knee, I could definitely see Violent by Design losing. And having the face team of Sabin, Edwards, Mack, and Storm pick up the win here. And then when Eric Young comes back 6-8 months down the line, they can pick it back up then. And Violent by Design could go on a run. I only have 3 confidence points on it. So
okay.
Not a ton.
All right.
Enforcer is going with Sabin, Edwards, Mack, and Storm as well. 2 confidence points.
Yeah, not a lot of confidence on this particular match.
No. I mean, you think go home math. Eric Young.
Oh, 100%. But it's Impact.
Edwards.
That never It almost never matters. It almost never matters.
Next, for the X Division title, Ace Austin, your champion, versus Josh Alexander versus TJP. Enforcer has got Ace Austin only a single confidence point. However,
really? Wow.
I'm agreeing with him on Ace. However, I have 5 confidence points on it. He just got that title. He's not losing it anytime soon.
Okay, so on one hand, I would say don't be so certain. On the other hand, I have 5 confidence points on Ace Austin as well. Because but at the same time, like, this is the X Division title. I get the feeling that I haven't looked up the math on this. Wouldn't shock me if it had a track record like the Never 6-man title, where it's like 50% of the time it trades hands.
It changes hands. It could be.
Yeah, in this case, I'm going to go with Ace Austin. I feel like Josh Alexander is sort of a dark horse to win this, and I don't think TJP has a chance.
I don't think TJP has a chance either. I think if there is going to be a title change, it would be Josh Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the Impact Tag Title match. You got the champions, FinJuice, taking on the Good Brothers. Good Brothers looking to get those belts back. I assume you're going with the Good Brothers, Steve.
I'm going with the Good Brothers. I got 4 confidence points on them. I feel like FinJuice, I think this was a matter of like Impact, a goodwill gesture towards New Japan saying, hey, you can trust us. You know why? Or, here's a sign of that. We're going to just hand you over our tag team titles. Do with them what you will. I think FinJuice didn't they have like 1 title defense with these things?
Maybe.
Or have they had any title defenses? I don't know
if they've had any.
I thought they had one, but I
may have had.
I guess
I don't know.
I'm wrong about that. Yeah, I got the Good Brothers getting them back. I just don't see FinJuice. They can't be in Impact, or they're not there. Like they've got, obviously their main thing is New Japan. They don't do anything with them in New Japan, so yeah, I'm just gonna put them back on the Good Brothers. It makes more sense, especially if Kenny's gonna pick up the Impact title. Oh man, it makes all the sense for the Good Brothers to be backing him with the Impact titles. Young Bucks have the AEW titles.
Unless it's the Young Bucks who are going to make a play for those Impact tag titles after the Good Brothers can't come through. I got FinJuice. 1 confidence point.
Oh, just 1? Okay. All right.
Just 1. I don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
I could just easily say Good Brothers 1 confidence point, but why not?
Yeah, sure.
Roll the dice here.
Okay. Might pick up a
saying
point.
FinJuice. They haven't had the belts that long. I understand your points about this. Even if it is a goodwill gesture, having the belts for about a month, I feel like that's you should probably do a little bit longer than that. So FinJuice holds on to those titles. Maybe they'll defend them on Impact. Maybe the Young Bucks will beat them for it. And then Enforcer has FinJuice as well. 3 confidence points.
Whoa! Wow! All right.
3.
Wow, that's okay.
Next, knockout tag titles. Kira Hogan, Tasha Steelz taking on Jordynne Grace, Rachel Ellery. Enforcer has Hogan and Steelz retaining 6 confidence points.
Whoa! Wow! I've got Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering picking these up. I think that this is the prime spot. I thought that Hogan and Steelz tried to ruin Jazz's retirement celebration last night. They sort of had the upper hand on Jordynne Grace. I only got 1 confidence point on this. And, I think Ellering's in this for like the long haul. I feel like this is one of those like shock things that Impact wants to do. I'm starting to get a feel for how they book these things. So I'm going to say Grace and Ellering with 1 confidence point.
I got Hogan and Steelz with 7.
Whoa!
7.
Wow!
And here's why. I feel like the story is going to be Jordynne Grace trying to find a tag partner that'll help her get those tag titles.
All right.
First, Jazz.
I think she
was
found
forced
it.
to retire.
I think she found it.
Now Rachel Ellering. They'll have a good couple matches. Not going to happen till Chelsea Green comes to Impact when her 90-day no-compete is up, and her and Jordynne Grace win those tag titles.
Dude, you know what? You're booking this like a madman. You're like way too overthinking it, and it's probably going to pay off for you. It's probably going to. None of these things are going to happen, but your short-term decision making is going to pan out for you. The Young Bucks are not going to get the Impact titles. Chelsea, they're not waiting on Chelsea Green, and they don't care if Eric Young has ACL surgery because all he has to do is be on the microphone. But that being said, you're probably going to end up winning all these.
Yeah, probably not. Next for the Knockouts Championship, Deonna Purrazzo, Tenille Dashwood. I think we all have Purrazzo with 8 confidence points.
She is Mrs. Most Confidence Points. Deonna Purrazzo, yeah.
She's essentially at this juncture the Roman Reigns of Impact Wrestling.
She's the head of the table.
If she has a match, you put all your confidence on her winning.
You got that right.
Finally, our main event, Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. All the belts, well, both the Impact belts and the AEW Championship on the line. Steve, who do you got?
Got Kenny Omega with 6 confidence points. I mean, it probably should be. Who did I have 7 on? I had 7 on. Oh, Trey Miguel. Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, I got Kenny Omega with 6 confidence points. There's no way. The only other thing is that, here's the thing. Tony Khan said there will be a winner of this match. If it's by DQ or by he actually gets the titles, Kenny Omega is going to win this match. Don Callis works for Impact Wrestling. So, you know, he is close with Kenny. They're not going to do anything screwy with those titles if Kenny gets them. Kenny Omega is going to win this match. Even if he doesn't go home with the titles, he's going to win this match.
There's 3 scenarios that could play out in my mind. Kenny wins via pinfall. Kenny wins via DQ. Or, this is a long shot. Rich Swann is on the precipice of losing, and Moose does not want that happening. He goes, bang, attacks Rich Swann. Therefore, Rich Swann wins by DQ. That is the least likely scenario. That's like 2%, 3% probably happening in my mind there. But I still have to keep that in mind, putting confidence points. I have Omega with 6 as well. Yeah, there's basically no way Rich Swann leaves this match with the AEW Championship.
There's 0 chance of Rich Swann winning. There is, in terms of, I totally see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know. I just think that I think the record books matter. And I'm not talking about like AEW rankings, because clearly this isn't an AEW ranked match. I don't think that, I think that kind of stuff probably matters. Like, at no point will they want to say Rich Swann has a win over Kenny Omega. Like, that's not going to happen. And on top of that, it sort of brings up a rematch potentially, which I don't think they're going to do. So I don't see any situation in which Kenny Omega does not win this match.
Yeah. Enforcer's got Omega with 7.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And there you have it.
How many did you have on Omega?
6.
Okay, same as me. Okay, cool. Right on. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of different moving pieces. Titles on the line. Lots of fun. I might win. I might lose both these. You might win both of them. You might have to split them with Enforcer. I don't know what's going to happen this coming Sunday.
Or you could only lose one of them. You could just lose the trios title.
I might just lose this guy and keep this guy. I don't know.
Impact one, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
that's why it's hard to hold on to them all.
Dude,
before we go, though, we do have a SmackDown preview. A couple segments announced. First, who is left to challenge the head of the table? I thought Cesaro was doing that.
Cesaro's left. Cesaro's going to challenge the head of the table.
Last week. And then finally, Apollo Crews to defend his Intercontinental Champion. It says Intercontinental Champion here, but it's Intercontinental Championship tonight.
Does he?
Typo.
He has a
typo
champion.
On WWE.com.
There you go. Left hand, right hand. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hopefully you'll join us tonight for our SmackDown recap over at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. Thanks everybody. Till next time. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.